Good evening. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of the Power Hour. I'm Steve, along with the urban sensation C Red. Rion is in parts unknown right now. He may come through, he may not. God only knows where PX is. And Cactus
I
Rack,
don't know where
I don't know where he
I
is.
don't know where they're at.
And Cactus Rack is working a little bit later tonight. If she makes it, great. If not, we will see her next week, hopefully. But the Power Hour is kind of, we have a bunch of people that do this. So sometimes we all do it. Sometimes some of us do it. It's just our nature. And welcoming to the show tonight, our recurring guests, the Mr. Xavier has been with us a multitude of times, as has the one and only Angel. And tonight, it's all about SCW's Arctic Takeover and the story that has taken a calendar year to build to where we are at Saturday night in Shabance, Illinois, not to be confused with Hawaii or wherever Aaron Xavier's phoning us in from. He is God, so he can transcend.
God is everywhere.
Why is it that you are in Hawaii and the angel is in the kitchen making a sandwich?
Because I'm God, and even God gets hungry.
That's a questionable answer, but we'll let that stand for now. Guys, thanks for being part of the show tonight. I'm glad to have you here. It's always good to see you for the most part. Big things happening Saturday night in Shabance. And I'll start with well, you're both champs. I was going to say I'll start with the champ. Got to watch what I'm saying here, considering you have all of the gold. Well, let's start with that. Before we get to the specifics, let's start with Sabotage, the faction that has taken over Southland Championship Wrestling as we know it. The heavyweight champion, the women's champion, the tag team champion. You need to get some more. Oh, excuse me. We have to get some more members so you can get some more belts, or you're going to have to multitask and win multiple championships.
I completely plan on taking Turtle's title.
So you want high voltage? Does that mean Xavier goes after Mercer for the Genesis? And which of you guys goes and gets the Brewmaster Championship from Mulligan? Because I wouldn't want to be
Look,
that.
I'm just gonna put a pin in there and squash this right now. Listen, every championship is safe until one member of Sabotage decides they want it. For now, Mercer is safe, Turtle is safe, Mulligan is safe. But that's only because myself, Angel, Mr. Espinoza, and Mr. Roberts have, graciously decided not to take their titles.
I don't know. Turtle keeps talking smack on Sunday, so he might be getting his taken away.
Well, that's okay. He can talk smack as long as he's still on the pre-show.
Oh, poor Turtle. Poor Turtle. So Sabotage is heading into Arctic Takeover in obviously the position of power. I mean, you guys have all your gold. You are dictating what's going on there. And at this point, you have literally dictated to an extent the future of Southland Championship Wrestling, or what might be called Sabotage Championship Wrestling Sunday morning on the Roundtable Live. Has it always been your goal to run Terry out and get to this point?
Listen, Steve, you've known me long enough, and Red, you obviously have known me long enough, and been in cahoots with me long enough to know there was a long-term plan. It's like, look, I'm going to be completely honest. When Terry first came in, I remember the old ruthless Terry Allen. I thought if anybody understood what I was doing and understood the levels to which I was willing to go, it would be him. But you see, Terry allowed his ego to get in the way. Terry allowed his ego to get in the way of good business sense. And it was proven at WrestleTopia, when instead of just accepting the fact that he's got a set of golden geese in Sabotage, he decided to step in the ring with me. And when he couldn't get the job done, which I called on this very show that he could not do, he ended up, going into here. He's letting his ego get in his own way. It's like, hell, it's like he said, I'll lay it out on the table. And I'll be the first to admit it wasn't even my idea. I was ready to leave. Brandon Espinoza SB had a great idea. And so I went with it. I was like, let's throw this out there, see where he goes. Let's see, how far Terry's willing to let his own ego get in his way. And look, as all of us being champions, we have a lot of control. But what better way to cement that control than to not only get Terry and his ego out of the way, but be put in the position to be that ego.
Well, that is that's quite a plan. I remember the moment that everything changed and you were set forth down this path. And I remember it like it was yesterday because I remember the look and I remember the walk. And it was at Pow's Wrestle Rage. And it was the big team, Team SCW against Team POW. And we were all there in our splendor. And there was that moment at the end of the match where things didn't quite go the way you had planned because of Hunter and Terry. And you had that look at the end when they're like, come on, we're going to make one big happy family. And you looked at him like you were going to take him down. And you didn't walk out. You walked out with purpose. And I knew at that moment that something was about to change. And boy, I don't think SCW has recovered yet from the havoc you have wreaked this year.
Well, I'm sorry, that was war. It's like, look, I've never been a nice guy. I've never worn white hats. It's like I was only in that because of them making it personal. They put their hands on me. They put their hands on my wife. Scott Fitzpatrick dropped my wife on her head. It's like, look, made it personal. Terry and Hunter smartly took advantage of that from a business sense. Hey, let's drag Aaron Xavier in there. You said it yourself, the savior of SCW. SCW is sunk if it wasn't for me joining that fight. And what do I get in return? It's like I get the Jolly Green jackass hitting me with a kick, knocking me out of the mat, and then afterwards, after everything we've been through, it's like, oh, let's all hug and make up. No, screw that.
Yeah, that was a remarkable moment. C-Red is waving the timeout flag. C-Red, this is your first charge timeout. You have 2 remaining in this half.
Man, please.
What's your thoughts?
He's a Patriots fan. They can change the rules when it fits them.
Right. Thank you. Here's my issue. Remember, let's take a moment back. Remember the night that I cost Hunter the tag team titles.
Ooh, that was a great night.
And who led the charge and who stood behind me as I turned my back on Hunter? I mean, it wasn't a big issue, but who was there? Who was there, Steve?
I believe it was our soon-to-be president,
Terry Allen.
Right.
Terry Allen.
So all of a sudden, you send me out and we have a conversation because you got a plan. So we got to bring Hunter down.
Did you just see him walk over the forest? Maybe he really is God.
He's God. And all of a sudden, now we're having kumbaya moments?
No.
Like, anybody that knows me, my statement in 2023, and I might carry it over to 24, but 2023, make it make sense. Why all of a sudden are you sending me out there and we've got this plan to get these titles off of him and bring him down a notch? And now we're with Pal and Kumbaya and love in the afternoon. Make it make sense. So I don't blame Aaron for doing what he did. I don't. And quiet as it's kept, I've been secretly cheering him on this entire time.
Well,
Why?
except for that one time I kicked you in the bagoogies, but that
Yeah,
was business.
but that was business. Make it make sense, and it hasn't. So I'm gonna put this out there now. I pray if we were playing poker, I would push all the chips in right now for Aaron Xavier. You know why? Because first of all, I would love to see Hunter. I would love, and I'm not gonna be there, but I'm sure somebody will take a picture. I pray to God. After Aaron wins, and the look on Hunter's face when his beloved Southland Championship Wrestling becomes Sabotage.
Oh, Red, he's already bitched, whined, and complained about it, saying that no matter what we decide to do, he is still majority owner, and what we want to have done just won't fly with him.
But he's been saying that for 367 days since I played Teddy Ballgame on his forehead. So
I was there. That was not good.
I mean,
It was beautiful.
The first thing I think you need to do, Aaron, is after you please put that old horse and put him down. Send him to the glue factory. It's done. It's over. Nobody's scared of Hunter Rain anymore.
I don't agree with that statement at all. Nobody's scared of Hunter Payne.
No,
if you
who's
were in
scared
that
of
ring
Hunter
and Hunter
Payne?
Payne was in that ring, you would shit yourself.
I've been in the ring with Hunter Payne. All you got to do is run some laps, bring him down to your level. It's hard for him to bend over,
First
let
of all,
alone run. And where's his tag partner been? Hiding somewhere in God's land. So Hunter's by himself. And what does
Batman's
Hunter
out there
do?
somewhere. Batman's always patrolling. Right, Robin?
Batman's sitting in Hawaii right now, I think, or in the Northern Lights.
I'm in the Northern Lights, right? I'm in the Northern Lights right now.
Yeah, that's where
I
Batman's
just had a
at.
conversation with Batman about you, Robin, this past Friday night. So you never know when he's going to show up.
Yeah, it's like, look,
okay.
We've been having this argument, me and him, for years and years and years. But all I'm going to say is Robin never got over without Batman. There's a reason Marco hasn't been over since Batman left.
I don't think Marco's going to enjoy hearing that, but I don't think Marco listens to this show anyway.
Facts hurt feelings. Facts hurt feelings.
Yeah, it could very well be. Now, obviously, we know what's at stake in Aaron Xavier's match. I have not seen anything about Angel and what you're doing at Arctic Takeover. Do you have the night off?
I don't know if I have the night off. I don't know if, technically right now we don't have a president. So, I don't know who's booking anything right now. But after watching the last 2 months and the ass kickings I've put on women who've come after my belt, do you think they really want to send somebody else after me this month? I wouldn't. All we're going to do is going to be dysfunction sets the bar, I am setting the bar, and Aaron is going to topple the bar.
You have had some spirited matches.
And I'm going to drink at the bar. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you can have one for me. Maybe 2.
Or 3.
You got me.
You have had some spirited matches of late. Anytime you and Renee Van Peebles get involved in a match, those are truly special. You had quite a couple of matches with Shauna Reed. I thought those were very good. And we still have something to be said.
That bitch crazy.
With Miss Dierico.
Who?
Oh, you mean Miss No Shilico?
For the record, Terry Allen, I did not just say that. I am merely asking the question.
Oh, what's Terry gonna do to you? Stop, grow a sack for once.
For what?
What is Terry gonna do to you? He's not president. He can't fire you.
Terry's last official act was the contract signing, Steve. He's got no authority over you. What you need to be worried about is here in 5 days, me having all the authority. Terry's got no sway anymore. He
Yeah,
is
I've
no
lived-
longer your president.
I've lived through this situation before. I've participated.
And you've come out a better person because of it.
Yeah,
You
you
learned
guys-
what winning was about. Take no prisoners, kick them in the teeth while they're down, keep your knee on their throat while they're choking. We've
I've
made you
learned-
Yeah,
better.
think about it, Steve. You went from just working for me to now you're working everywhere. Everybody wants some Steve Aaron. CSW's using you, Frontline's using you. It's like, I'm sorry, it's like your talent took you a lot of places, but you see, this is where I came in. It's like I am the ultimate evaluator of talent. Look at it. I got Steve, Miles Mercer. It's like
Jake Andrews.
nobody outside of Indiana knew John Hudson. And now John Hudson's going to be on TV any day now. It's like Jake Andrews. Jake Andrews was jerking curtains at your beloved CSW. Then magically, I put him in the ring with somebody who can go. Everyone sees what he can do, and he's the youngest champion they've ever had. Come here, buddy. Come on. So here is Ethan Jesus Christ.
Hello, young man.
Hello.
Let's ask you some questions about your dad. Do you really feel like you are the Messiah? Because I mean, that's kind of where we're at here, aren't we?
Say,
It's that hard-hitting question, hard-hitting journalism. What is it? Is this like a dance move? What are we doing here?
No, he's trying to punch you.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. I've been told I have a very punchable face. So, okay,
Yep.
let's say, for example, you win. You beat
for
James
example.
Creed, and
Win.
suddenly you are now in control of the fate of Southland Championship Wrestling. What kind of changes in 2024 would you be looking to make?
Get rid of that sucky name. Oh, I'm sorry.
First of all, we've already established the name's going to be Sabotage Championship Wrestling. We've already established that. And as for changes, it's like, Steve, I can't give you all the details of the plan in advance. But let's just say that things are going to be run differently.
Really?
Who hasn't benefited from change in life? Sometimes regimes have to topple.
No longer will people who know the right people or have families show up to the show be put in positions to succeed. It will go. It's like no longer will people like a James Creed get opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, where my real talent, and see, this is just real, is guys that truly deserve that opportunity will actually get it. Guys like Miles Mercer, for example. It's John Hudson. It's like, where's John Hudson been at? It's like, I'll guarantee the reason he's not there is they don't want any part of John Hudson coming in and possibly aligning himself with myself again with Sabotage.
Baby, he is Sabotage. He is. It's like your second cousin twice removed.
I mean, that would make you, I mean, obviously there would be someone else in the gang to go after and take more gold, which would certainly ensure your dominance. A lot of people might be pretty uncomfortable with you taking control and exerting your will. And I've seen it. I've seen a situation where Aaron Xavier is in charge. And, I'm not going to say that it's all bad. I'm going to say that it will be unpredictable. I certainly can attest to that. We know that you don't play around, and we know that your focus is unmatched. But Southland has kind of been pretty good, with you and without you. I mean, why fix it if it ain't broken? Is my question.
Ooh, Aaron, can I answer? Can I answer, please? Thank you. So, Steve, we're going to go back. What was that? 3 years, 4 years, baby? When Hudson took on Creed in 2 out of 3 or some chaos like that.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Aaron Xavier came in, made his presence felt.
We never
And in
thought
that
we
time-
would ever see it in our lifetimes again. when that man hit the ring. It was like witnessing the devil returning to the scene of the crime.
And in those 3 years, we have been the most, he, me, anybody we've aligned with, we've become the most relevant thing at SCW, CSW. They all kind of sound alike after a while, but we are the most relevant thing that's there. People tune in right now. Do you know how many debates there are online right now about, oh my God, if Aaron wins, oh my God, what's going to happen? That's relevancy. No one cared about it before he existed, we existed. John Hudson made it relevant. No one cared about Creed before Hudson put him on the map. No one cared about it before Aaron and Xavier decided that this is where we're planning home and this is where we're going to make some changes. We made it relevant. People are talking about it. No one talked about it beforehand. I couldn't tell you 3 years ago who their women's champion was, nor did I care, because it wasn't relevant. We made it relevant.
I mean,
Like
Moxie Molly was pretty good.
We go. Oh, don't even get me started on that bitch.
Jesus Christ. You've lost your ability to have an opinion.
Oh my God. A wish happened.
What about the amazing Amazon? She was a terrific champion. I mean,
you know what? You are the first one I am firing on Saturday. Seriously.
I mean, okay.
Every time I think there's hope for you, you disappoint me.
But here's
my God.
Why tramp on the reputations of others? You don't need to, right? I mean, you don't need to.
It's not a matter of trouncing on the reputations of others. It's a matter of setting a different level. It's the bar has been set higher since Sabotage is here. Just because it was the best they had to offer then doesn't mean it's the best there is to offer now. Just because we set the bar at a different level doesn't mean that that anything else has changed. It's like we're just better. The level is higher. The bar is higher. And if you can't reach that level or that bar anymore, then you need to just go away.
I'm gonna hang in the Northern Lights.
Well, there's just all kinds of things happening in this show right now. We are gonna bring PX in. He has arrived. I didn't think he was gonna make it tonight.
Who's this person?
This is our correspondent, our LIM, the lovely intoxicated men correspondent, Pac-Man. How you doing, PX?
Doing good, Steve. Fresh out of work and happy to be on with you guys again.
Well, we are here with Aaron, Xavier, and the Angel, and they are they're quite opinionated tonight. PX, they are talking about always.
Like, where you be?
Red, did you have a question?
Nah.
I thought you were raising your hand.
No, Red knows we're speaking truth.
Okay, well, that's fair. So I'm the first person you're gonna fire, huh? That's how that's gonna go.
I told you that last month.
I feel like that's probably not accurate because, I do pretty good work there and, I don't know who you're going to replace me with. So I think that makes me kind of a valuable commodity. Why fire me?
Why fire you? Because we're not Make-A-Wish.
No,
I'm
not gonna go. I'm not going to go to that. I like Steve's work. She just gets irritated because you dig in on her and then you do stupid things like not send her the info for the show that you invited her on.
That's
and it's a woman scorn.
I will tell you this. I mean, I certainly find the whole prospect of if you do win, you taking over very interesting because I think that would change the landscape of Southland Championship Wrestling significantly. But I will tell you in no uncertain terms that at no time as a ring announcer or commentator will I ever refer to SCW as Sabotage Championship Wrestling.
You say that. You really say that.
I absolutely say that, and I absolutely mean it.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So I just want to get that out there right now while we're all friends in a good mood.
Wasn't it around the first of 2023 where Steve was adamant that he was done with the wrestling business?
It's true.
But here we are.
6 companies later.
I had some good advice from a good friend that made all the difference in the world. He said, "Go with what brought you there, and go with your gut." My gut tells me SCW only stands for one thing.
Sabotage Championship Wrestling.
So
Greatness.
let's talk about James Creed and this war you have had. You know, you guys have been dancing this dance for almost a year, and you have held the upper hand most of the time, but it almost seems like he has gotten a little bit under your skin. He's younger than you, he's a bit faster than you, perhaps even a bit stronger than you, yet you still find a way to win. Does the fact that he maybe reminds you of himself bother you a little bit?
No. And see, that's not it at all. Look, I've made no secret. I think James Creed is a talented individual. I think he's a talented wrestler. But there's a lot of talented wrestlers out there, Steve. And you know, James Creed, the highlight of his career is having a victory over Aaron Xavier in a meaningless match. But look back on it. Anytime the stage has been big, he can't get the job done. Because at the end of the day, while he's a good wrestler, he's ordinary. It's like there has never been a better big match performer in SCW than Aaron Xavier. 367 days as champion. Since the day I walked in the door, I have lost exactly one match that had meaning. And when I mean meaning, I mean gold. And even in that match, my actual partner was in Florida, and I had my lovely wife filling in. And they didn't even pin me. They pinned her. Oh, she took a pile driver from a multi-time heavyweight champion. That's what it took to defeat anything involving Aaron Xavier on a big stage. Whether you like me, you don't like me, it's irrelevant. There's never been anybody better in a big match situation in that company's history.
I don't disagree with any of that. Actually, I pretty much find everything you just said pretty right on. So I'll give you credit for all that. But I think this goes deeper. I think James Creed puts a glass under your nose and makes you look at your own mortality in this business. And
not at all.
A young
See,
man like that makes you realize that your end is near.
This is where you and other people have this confused. This has very little to do with James Creed, the person. This has everything to do with what James Creed represents. This entitled, give me what I want generation of talent. This, I'm a little bit good, but I can, people like Hunter Payne and Terry Allen can gaslight me into believing I'm the next John Cena or Shawn Michaels, just to get me to pitch out more money to go to more training classes and take more seminars. I said it in the ring with James Creed after I laid him out again. Look, James Creed is not the guy. He's not. I'm sorry. That's just the facts. He's not the guy. Not right now, he's not. He represents something that I despise. You see, you say that I see myself in him. No, I don't, because what I dealt with, he's never going to have to. I came into this business, and at 5'8", 210 pounds, I was tiny. I was given every disadvantage this business has ever offered, and I've had to overcome it for 20 plus years. Whereas James Creed walks in with a quarter of the talent I had at that age. A quarter of the talent. And he's been given shot after shot after shot. It is not the same thing. I earned everything I've gotten. He's been handed everything he's gotten. Handed. And see, that's where my plan came into play. Because I knew that Terry and Hunter couldn't help themselves, I played right into their desire to hand the golden child whatever he whined and complained about. And what it's going to cost him is their company. What it's going to cost Terry is his legacy.
This is, you're right. we have known each other a long time because I just had a bit of deja vu. I was listening to you talk there, and
Cheers.
I have heard you talk like this once before. And I didn't realize it until right now how the circumstances might be somewhat different, but what you're saying and how you're saying it and the look in your eyes is the same. This looks to me like the same Aaron Xavier
Don't you
that
say it.
went up against Justice Jones once upon a time.
You had to say it.
I
You know
have
what,
to say
Steve?
it because I believe it.
When you're right, you're right. When you're right, you're right. Because Justice Jones, much like James Creed, was handed on a silver platter every opportunity. Whether he and don't get me wrong, Justice Jones, far more talented performer than James Creed will ever be. Far more.
Mm.
But Justice Jones, 6'3", 240 pounds, could fly like a damn luchador. Yeah, he was handed opportunities I never got. But once again, just like I've been saying, which one of us is still here? Which one of us is still relevant?
That's a fair statement, but also we remember how that ended, and he dropped you on your head through steel chairs and beat you.
Sometimes you lose the battle just to win the war. Steve, once again, I lost the match. I lost the match, right?
You did?
But which one of us is still here?
You are still here. You are right.
So who won that war?
It would seem that you did, but on that night you did not win the belt, shall we say?
Didn't lose the
Red,
company either.
All right. He's
So,
got the
Steve-
timeout flag. Let's see what he wants.
So,
what do you got,
Steve,
Red?
you're bringing up ancient history, but since you need an ancient history lesson, Aaron lost the match. It's no secret. But what was going on behind the scenes?
You know, to this day, I'm not sure.
The evil genius was creating the most dominant faction they had ever seen.
Fair.
So he lost one match, gained an army, and we ran the fucking company. So
Well, I mean,
did
that's kinda what
Justice?
that's kinda what he's doing
did
now.
Justice really do anything? If anything, he just pushed up our timetable, and we just whooped everybody's ass. And again, whooped his ass to the point we need to ask somebody, have you seen him?
No, I don't.
All
think I
I'm
have.
going to say is, listen. If this Saturday night I was getting in the ring with Justice Jones, I'd be a lot more concerned. A lot more concerned. Because Justice Jones has something there is no way to plan for, and that's just brute strength. Nothing I can do about that. No matter how many weights I lift, no matter how much time I spend in the gym, I'm not going to be 6'4". I'm not going to outpower that man. What does James Creed bring to the table that I haven't already proven I have an answer for?
That is a fair question. You've backed him up against a wall. Desperate measures sometimes yield very positive results. And to see Red's point about losing to Justice Jones brought up the timetable of the ARC. He's already got an army that is outmatched what the ARC was at the time in Sabotage. So, that's not really a relevant comparison.
It's very relevant, Steve, because you're the one doing what you normally do, and you're trying to stir the pot.
There's no pot stirring.
and you're trying to get A-Rod off his game.
Hold on. The only thing that separated Sabotage and ARC and Success is heavyweight title. I mean, if memory serves me right, ARC at one time had tri-state champion,
tag team
champions, women's champions.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, everybody knew we were coming for the heavyweight gold. That was no secret. And then magically the company shut down. And I like to think, I pretty much have an idea, and I know for a fact that they didn't want that to happen. Do you really think they wanted Aaron Xavier as owner, operator, and proprietor? No, they didn't. They knew we were about to run roughshod and actually turn the rest of the Midwest on its head. So
well, if you really want to think about it, though, it's like at the end there at CTW, me and Brubaker had come to a bit of an understanding. So in a way, I kind of did control the heavyweight title too. And I was GM. I had more power then. It's almost like that nobody's been paying attention to literally what I've already done.
History does seem to repeat itself quite often. And that brings us to Arctic Takedown. The first show of this calendar year with the stakes as high as they've ever been. What do you have to do to assure victory? Because James Creed's coming in with nothing left to lose. You have made that very clear. And when a man has nothing left to lose, a man is very dangerous. You, however, have everything.
He's got nothing left to lose.
A company? An entire company?
He has got the weight of the world on his shoulders. If I lose, what happens? If I lose, what happens? I lose the heavyweight title. Boo-hoo. Guess what? I still got the called shot back that he had to give me. I lost the match. If James Creed loses, he's got to look Terry in the eye and be like, sorry you believed in me and I cost you your job. He's got to look Hunter in the eye and say, hey, I'm sorry. I know you brought me into this business and guided my career, but I cost you your company. He's got to look his brothers and his parents in the eye and say, hey, I know you supported me from day one, but I failed.
I mean,
if the pressure is on anyone, it's on James Creed, not me. And let's just think about this. Like you keep saying, this is. I'm pretty good at the contract thing. But all it says is if Creed doesn't win the title, I get the name. I said if he fails, I don't have to beat him. He just can't beat me.
Babe, how long you been in the business?
July will be 24 years.
So you've been doing this way longer than Creed's been alive, right? So what are we saying? What is he, 30 at the oldest, if that's?
Something like that.
So, I mean, you've trained with Samoans. I mean, technically, they taught you how to be real ruthless. So why would we be nervous? He's been doing this longer than Creed's been alive.
None of that matters. Look, everyone knows my pedigree. Everyone knows where I came from. But the facts are the facts. It's like, Steve, the pressure's not on me. If I lose, I've got another plan. Why do you think the bat had to be turned over to me? I said it there. I know what the power of that thing is. It's coming to me. I have my backup plan. If I lose, okay, it's a speed bump. If Creed loses, he causes a ripple effect that there's no coming back from. And it's like I've already said on the big stage he can't get it done. And there's no stage he's ever been on that is bigger than right now.
We said earlier, what will you do if you win? What are some of the things? And you danced around it a little bit, and that's fine. You're not going to give me your plan. You never have, and I wasn't expecting you would. Now you're downplaying a loss, but what do you do if you lose? Because that's a whole lot of pride fall right there.
It is.
Because
I'm not
you
gonna lie, if I
said
lose-
repeatedly that he's not in your class. You've said that repeatedly for a long time. You're Aaron Xavier. You're God mode. He's not. What if
It's not that he,
James
it's not
Creed
that
finds
he's
a way
not
to
in
knock
my,
God in the mouth?
you know what? That's a possibility. But once again, I lose the bump in the road. Steve, you've known me long enough,
Pretty big bump.
but you've known me long enough to know that I've thought every angle of how this possibly could go through. You think I'd really push all the chips? I didn't have to give Creed another shot. I could have just walked away.
No,
It's
you're
a
right.
calculated risk. It's
You
a
saw an
calculated
opportunity.
risk. It's a calculated risk. Because at the end of the day, it's like, if I lose, okay, I lost the heavyweight title. I'll get it back. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And Creed can have his feel-good story, and if anything else, it'll pump that head more full of air than it already is. Cool, you beat me. Good. You accomplished something in your life. Good for you.
Okay, well, that's
But like I said in my promo, it's like you keep going on about what happens if I lose. You're not touching on what happens if I win.
I
I
asked you.
I have been sitting atop the throne of SCW for over a year now. I've been a king, but like Eminem said to Machine Gun Kelly, why be a king when you can be a god?
That's a good one.
Okay, well, that certainly is one of the results that could happen this Saturday night in Shabance as SCW presents Arctic Takeover. Angel, you've had a pretty good run now as SCW Women's Champion.
Good time.
Tell us a little bit about your reign and what you plan to do, whether you fight Saturday night or not.
I've hit the point, since obviously it is like pulling teeth to get me competition at this point and trying to find those that want to go for my game. At this point, man, woman, child, don't care. Whoever wants to come step up.
Here,
That's
you
where
were
I'm at.
asking what I would do. You were asking what I would do if when I take over. We're not going to go with if. We're going to go with when, because I play the probabilities here, and the probability is I'm going to win. I'm going to find women that have the guts to come wrestle Angel.
I mean, I
Because
have been up.
Southland and Terry have failed constantly at this. Now, I will give Shauna Reed all the credit in the world. That bitch is crazy. She's crazy.
Mm-hmm. There's voices.
But it's either they're not trying or they're that scared.
They're not trying. Terry don't care about the women's division. All he cares about is getting that belt off of you.
Well, he's got to keep Erica Noshilako happy at home.
I mean, I'm still waiting for that one. I mean, we kind of got screwed out of that one because, I mean, I was really looking to drive Terry's face into a mat or into my knee, whichever body part kind of really I felt like at that moment. But obviously, once again, still waiting. What are we, 2 months out, 3 months from that match? What should have been that match?
I mean, that would have been a great match. I was looking forward to that one myself.
I mean,
okay,
and then you see them at POW wrestling, and it's like, what are you really scared of?
These are all
it is awfully convenient that every other shot is always made, but the second people got to get in the ring with Aaron, Xavier, and Angel, oh, something came up.
Oh, my bad. Oh, oof. Gotta work.
It's almost like somebody realized that they were in with a younger, better version of themselves a month earlier and didn't want to go through the embarrassment again.
Okay, so when you are successful this Saturday night, Shabance, we'll suspend disbelief and we'll go down this rabbit hole. Who would you like to fight in 2024? And if you're in charge,
You want them? I'll give them
can-
to you. Sierra,
No,
Maggie.
he's asking me because I'm in charge, woman. Not you. I'm in charge.
Yeah, well, let's be honest. You're the front of the house, I'm the back of the house,
Mute.
and we're upper management.
Click mute. Click mute. I'm the boss. Read on the screen. It says God. It doesn't say God and Goddess. It says God in iPhone 58.
God, you're lucky I love you. God, you're lucky.
So, you want to know who I'm going to wrestle, who I think is worthy after I beat James Creed?
No.
Me.
I don't give a rat's ass about who you
Me.
fight.
He's talking about
Talking
me.
Angel.
Oh, well, since I'm in charge, real easy. All the darlings I see on the internet that you guys all fawn over, I am going to feed to the goddess of gains like protein shakes after squat day. Sierra, Maggie Lee, all of them I'm going to feed to the goddess of gains. So she tosses them all around like rag dolls and shows everybody that this is why nobody wants to come work with her.
Okay. I mean, those are fantastic names.
Hey,
certainly
I laid out the challenge a month or so ago. I said, hey, me and Angel versus Joey Avalon and Sierra, somebody book it. My phone's been on the whole time.
No, now they're busy with freelance. So it's gonna be another 6 months to a year.
This is not a.
I mean, I'll
one-off.
take, babe, can we take Vic and Shelly? They seem to be working together.
No,
I'll
Vic's
take that one.
retired. Vic's retired.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. Look at Ric Flair.
Except for I'm wrestling Vic in February here in Rockford. So
Well, he's retired from CSW. That was his
Well,
last match.
SCW
past
still
Friday
readily.
night.
Well, SCW is readily available.
So okay, so obviously, it would certainly make sense, and it would be a great draw to see Avalon and Sierra taking on the two of you. Obviously, right now.
But hey, if I was them, I would want to work the combined 300-pound team as well. Not 210 pounds with 20-something years experience who is on the run of a lifetime right now. I wouldn't want to take on a girl that squats over 300 pounds. It's like, hey, I understand where they're coming from.
I mean, they're a little busy right now. Obviously, you saw what happened.
Yes, with somebody who cosplays as a damn unicorn. Yep, real busy.
Look, I'm not gonna disrespect GPA or Laney Luck. It's well documented that as a manager at CSW, before I did anything else,
Who did you manage?
I managed Mitch Blake.
Who?
Oh, you sure you want to go down this road?
I don't want to go. I only want to go down the road to say that in a match situation, Laney Luck knocked out my tooth. So I certainly have animosity there 100%. But, like I said, I mean, are you looking to get into a situation like this where you two are taking your tag team on the road, round and round against some of these people? Are you throwing your hat into the ring?
I've said before, I won't shy away from anything. I will go wherever I need to go. But also at the end of the day is I don't have to chase other people. It's like, we've set the bar. If you think you're better than where we've set the bar, come prove us wrong. I have no problem going into someone else's house to have, to do something. But if you're not, it's like I'm also at a point where I don't have to chase down challenges either. If you're only willing to do something, but you want me to come to you, well, then you're kind of scared to do it because it shouldn't matter where it's done.
I mean,
We
that
don't
makes
need to
sense.
jump. We don't need to jump anybody to get them to come to the house. Doors
So you're
always open. Come
You're
on
not looking
down.
to jump guardrails and hit people in the back. You're not looking to do that. That's not your style.
Oh no, that's totally
That's
my
totally
style.
his style.
True.
All I'm saying is you'll see it coming
Now,
now.
now, to be fair, I don't do it at other people's companies. I'm not above jumping somebody in the back and taking advantage of a situation that presents itself. But I'm not going to go to someone else's show, jump the guardrail, and go beat up two people that didn't know that I was there, didn't even know I was a threat. Where's the fun in that?
Well, that was certainly a shocking moment Friday night in Franklin Park. But like I said, maybe someone comes and jumps a guardrail and shabants and sends you a message. I mean, you just never know. It's not like security
Have
is
at it.
very effective.
No, you're right. And we don't even have guardrails. But what I do have is I have the best tag team in the Midwest right there watching my back. So that doesn't happen to me.
That is
Yeah.
that is an interesting observation. Dysfunction. How did you come upon their services? Why did you choose them? What about Espinoza and Roberts made you interested in implementing them in your plan?
Oh, it wasn't me coming amongst their services. It's like, let's just be honest. It's like you watched me and John Hudson defend those tag titles for all that time.
We did.
The only team to ever pin us was Dysfunction. Now, granted, it was non-title.
They hit me
But
with their
then
finisher.
Me and Hudson,
I
But
really
then me and
enjoyed that
Hudson go
match
our
too. That was
separate,
really good.
me and Hudson go, our ways, and things go the way they are. And then I watch how Dysfunction's, being mistreated. It's like this is a team that took the most dominant tag team SCW had seen up until that point and beat them. And the best you got for them is, hey, you're going to work high voltage and do this, that, and the other with these two jabrones. And it's like, so I went to them and just talked to them. It's like, look, you guys deserve better. Do you think you deserve better? Obviously they did. It's no different than when, I went and spoke to Red and Hudson and Miles and Renee and said, you know what? I believe you guys are being undervalued and underutilized and disrespected. I've got an idea. This isn't they're under my control. I've never once said I'm the leader of Sabotage.
That's true.
This is us collectively as Sabotage. It's like we all have an equal voice. We all play our roles.
Well, they had better bring their A game Saturday night because they've got a real challenge on their hands.
Yep, from the team so good they could only come up with one name but had to repeat it twice.
Who are they wrestling?
Go ahead.
You don't know who they're wrestling?
Obviously, it's not important.
Bros.
One of the top
bros.
One of the top tag teams in the Midwest.
Where are they from?
The second least creative name in SCW's existence. The other one being Erica D'Erico.
You don't look past the Bros, man. They're tough.
I'm not look. I know who the Bros are. I'm having fun. But Dysfunction, look at who they are. Brandon Espinoza, Harley Race trained, OVW talent.
TV star.
This is different. This is different levels. I mean, you're talking about guys who are used to working in front of 50 people for a hot dog and a handshake versus people that are used to working in front of sold out crowds at the Davis Arena.
I don't know about that. They're Frontline Pro Tag Team Champions. You got to put some respect on their name, sir.
Mm. I'm gonna have to watch this and judge that match before I give respect to anybody. It is earned, not given.
Respect is earned, not given.
Well, the Bro Bros are coming to Southland, and they want more gold, and they are looking right in the barrel of dysfunction.
You want me to take something serious. You want to know who I want to wrestle. You want to bring up Frontline. After I beat James Creed, you go up to Frontline and you bring Bulletproof Ben McCoy down to see me.
Oh, you want to fight?
How about that?
Ooh, I don't know if that's a good match for you, sir.
You bring Ben McCoy down, and we'll show you how two geriatrics get down.
I don't know if you want that smoke.
Oh, we want it.
I love Ben. I'm not gonna lie. I love Ben to death.
I don't know if you want to fight Ben McCoy. Not right now.
It's like me and Ben are gonna have 40 minutes of exchanging headlocks, and we're gonna have a beard off, and that's all there is to it.
Oh yeah, let's shave that beard off you, baby. I'm over it.
I don't know, boy. Aaron Xavier versus Bulletproof Ben McCoy. That doesn't end well for you, sir.
It ends very
no. That ends great for me.
Let's talk a little bit about other matches that are happening Saturday that might have big implications for you specifically. Because if
they won't,
let me recant this. When you're victorious Saturday night, you will have a number one contender that will be named that night as well. So at some point, you will either fight Scott Spade or JPH because they have a match Saturday night for the number one contendership.
Well, there's a couple different ways I can go about this. It's like, first of all, number one contenders match. Okay, who made it the number one contenders match? There's no president. Terry has no fucking authority right now.
I mean, I can read a flyer.
Yes,
but
if Rion was here tonight, he would show you a flyer.
But okay, so it says number one contender. Does it say number one contender to what title?
You know, that's a fair point. I'll have to look at it.
Does it say number one contender to my title? Does it say number one contender to Mercer's Genesis title? Mulligan's
my title?
Mulligan's Extinct Bar title?
Oh, there it is. Thanks, Pac-Man. Well done. There it is.
I got you. I was just about to let you know. I was doing the thing.
It very well could be the high voltage title. But when I win Saturday, that's up for, hell, I could play a rib on Scott Spade and say, hey, that number one contenders match was for the PAL heavyweight title. It really messed with him.
Well, that's splendid. That's unfortunate too.
But I might want to take on Scott Spade as revenge for him pile driving me.
Fair.
But here's the other aspect of this. Let's say Terry did somehow have the authority to make this match and make it a number one contenders match for my title. Okay, let's just go out in La La Land here. If he had such faith in James Creed getting the job done, why did he have to go out and find somebody that he hates in Scott Spade, who coincidentally is the only person in SCW to ever defeat any version of me in a team or singles in a big match situation? He is hedging his bets. That's all there is to it. He can put up the brave face of, I've got all the faith in the world with James Creed. If he had all the faith in the world with James Creed, the second I offered the stipulation, he would have accepted it. He wouldn't have, hemmed and hawed his way about it. We wouldn't be dealing with this. He would have went right to it, but he doesn't. He knows Creed is not the guy. He's trying to find some way to get himself out of this and save face after he's gone.
Well, that is a hot take. Okay. Other matches that are happening Saturday night. You've got ARC member Miles Mercer, a man you speak very highly of, taking on one of the craziest, most enigmatic superstars that SCW has ever seen, the former champion in Jimmy Carrot, who makes his big return to Shabance. For my money, this is the biggest challenge of Miles Mercer's time as champion. I don't know if
You're
Miles
right.
Mercer has the answer for Jimmy Carrot.
Red, what's your
Then
opinion?
you-
I want your opinion.
I mean-
well, first of all, you obviously haven't been watching Miles Mercer if you don't think he has the answer for him.
Oh, I've been watching Miles Mercer a long time, but Jimmy Carrot is kind of supernatural.
Yeah, but you say that every time Miles has a match. Like you said that same
Well, he
shit.
got no faith in
when-
Miles. He got no faith in the ARC with you guys. Like you didn't teach him something in all these years. Red, how long you been with Miles? How long you and Miles been a team?
I was with Miles for 7, 8 years, something like that.
You don't think Red has
2016 is when we put ARC together.
Yeah, so I mean,
Steve, you don't think that Red has taught Silky anything in those 6 years?
Oh, I know
Hell,
he. I mean,
have seen
he
the
wouldn't be where he
changes
is.
in Renee. The changes in Renee from back in the PCW days till now are night and day because of Red. Night
Look,
and day.
I'm not discounting Jimmy Carrot by any stretch of the imagination. A former champion, great performer, former champion, all that. Miles Mercer, I've said it before and I'll say it again. He is one of the best kept secrets this area has ever seen as a professional wrestler.
Oh, it's going to be a slugfest. I can't wait for it because you got two guys who ain't scared of anything.
That's true.
It's like, hey, and I will say this, Miles Mercer, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the only person to pin Aaron Xavier in the last 360-something days.
I was there. I saw it.
Now it got overshadowed by me being Teddy fucking Ballgame and knocking Hunter Payne out and taking the heavyweight title and then kicking Red in the balls and all that other stuff. But the fact remains, only person to pin Aaron Xavier, the most dominant champion SCW's seen, the best big match wrestler SCW's ever seen, has been Miles Mercer.
Well, I can't argue with that, I guess. I mean, these are all excellent points, and Miles is a special talent.
Let's go steal Silky.
If Perry Allen had any dignity and reality left in his body, Miles Mercer would be the one that he was getting behind for all this. Miles Mercer is the one who should be in this spot. But no, it's James Creed because he's the chosen one.
Now that's an
It's like all those years that Vince McMahon tried to jam John Cena and Roman Reigns down everyone's throat and they got booed.
Wow.
While the real talented guys got left by the sideline.
That's tough. We'll stay with Red Stable as Acid Jazz returns to Shabance on Saturday night, and he takes on Apex, who has seemed to have fallen in line with the Professor. That means Jazz has nobody to watch his back. It's a shame a former manager couldn't be there to help him.
It's a shame that Apex has decided to go down that route. He could have such better representation in life. Such better representation.
Apex, former mixed martial arts performer, taking on Acid Jazz, a man who has been doing it for a very long time. How do you guys see this match happening?
I'm taking Jazz with the hot cocoa for the win.
Red,
Look, I've been a big fan.
Jazz ain't got time for that shit.
I've been a big fan of Apex for a long time. He's made a severe misstep trusting his career with Keith. And look, it's much like other managers we've seen in this business. I'm not going to name names, which is outside of what I normally would do. But Keith sort of carnied his way into this one. I just don't see what Keith brings to the table that could help him. If Apex was looking for that next level, could have had a business meeting with me. Could have had a business meeting with Espinoza.
Me.
But he allowed himself to get carnied. And we'll see how it goes for him. But I'm gonna take Jazz in a walkover.
Wow, that's something. Red, can't wait to hear
Red,
this.
Red knows the truth.
Like, what do you want me to say? I mean, do you think I'm going against? First of all, you know I'm not going against Miles, so you damn sure know I'm not going against Jazz. I don't give a fuck who you put in front of.
Red, can we
Again,
get a team
When
damn
Jazz
it?
and Miles fought, you had a real hard time picking that match, didn't you?
and I didn't pick that match.
That's
God
right.
damn it. But again, you want me to pick this match, and again, really? Like, you've seen Jazz, the evolution of this new version of Acid Jazz.
He is at
I
his
love
best right
I
now.
love I love the 80s, 90s version Jazz.
He
It is
don't
amazing.
he don't give a fuck. So
He
guess
doesn't.
what? You think he gonna give a fuck about Apex? You gonna think
No.
about he wants to deal with his Dollar General manager? He's not, Come on now.
Okay.
Swiss miss for everybody, goddamn it.
Exactly.
Hot chocolate coming in hot.
I love his hair.
Two more matches that I've seen announced. I haven't seen any high voltage matches.
Oh, they just posted that today.
They did. Okay, well, I haven't seen it.
But
Turtle's got a
nobody-
gauntlet match. I'm not in it, so I can't even smack Turtle around.
Well,
Nobody cares
I'll
about high
figure that out.
voltage.
We've got Mulligan, the Brewmaster title, the Steam Hollow Brewmaster title is still a thing. It's going to be on the line, and he's taking on Eric Schultz of Puny General.
Eric Schultz for the win.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. As a associate of our fantastic attorney, he is due up. That man has worked his ass off. He is making waves over in Indiana, and I think now he is due at SCW.
You're
He
saying
helps represent.
Eric Schultz is going to beat Sean Mulligan.
Oh, he's gonna fuck up Mulligan.
Eric Schultz.
Yes,
Schultz gets results. Eric Schultz,
yes.
the man with the $1 million suspenders.
Oh, I
is
love
gonna
his.
beat Mulligan.
Oh, he is totally. I love his suspenders. That man is very well dressed.
The guy in
Love
that
it.
picture that has Eric
Yeah.
Schultz under his picture is going to beat the Irish Car Bomb.
Yeah.
What? did you
100%.
Put in that wine, girl. What did
True.
you
And this
put
is
in
what-
that
and
wine?
And this is a perfect example, despite the fact that I love my wife, of why women should not have a say in this world.
I totally give Eric Schultz it. He's due up.
Sean Mulligan's gonna steamroll this boy.
If Mulligan
Oh
loses,
my God. Oh, can we
fire
stop
me,
living?
I'll
Can
quit.
we stop living in the old school in Windy City and thinking that everybody who's 50 and over gets a title and gets a belt? My God, let's let some of the young guys through. Eric Schultz is due up. My money's on Schultz on this one. He's due.
Wow. That is
Besides,
one-
Steam Hollow don't exist. There's no more beer. What's Mulligan going to do with a belt that doesn't exist for beer?
Pawn it for beer.
that is a hot take. Red, how do you see this one going? Red, how do you see this one going?
As I heard you,
Well, then
damn.
answer the fucking question.
Shit. I mean, I got love for Mulligan, but I don't trust Schultz, and that could be a good thing. I'm on sabbatical, so I don't have to worry about shit no more. So,
No, but we love your opinion, Red.
but after I saw his tights a couple of weeks ago, he gets results, he says. And I wouldn't be shocked at all if, as much as you're downplaying him, Steve.
Downplaying Schultz? You're damn right.
But we've seen him over the past year, nothing else in 2023, being put in high profile matches. You don't get put in these matches if you can't handle yourself.
I mean,
And I'm just thinking, like Angel said, it might be his time. And you know, you keep downplaying it, but we never know what's in that briefcase.
There is no multiverse. There is no universe. There
You
is
sure
no
about that?
sabbatical that Sean Mulligan doesn't walk all over Schultz on
Sure about it.
Saturday.
But you keep saying that about matches, and then the next week you have to come on here and eat crow.
Exactly.
Not eating crow about
You're-
that match. I'll tell you that right
oh
now.
yeah, you. Oh yes,
Okay.
you are.
There is no crow to be eaten. You bet the house on that match. You bet the whole house. You bet every. You just remember when you were pushing all your chips into the table earlier. You're pushing them all in. I'm pushing them all in on this one. Moving on, and the
But
final
then
match
that's why
aware of
your wife
at
is mad because
Arctic
you was in the
Takeover.
house.
We've got
Picking Schultz over Sean Mulligan would be like you betting on Barry Horowitz or
Well, you know what?
or
Red and I are allowed to our opinions. I'm gonna back Schultz on this one.
you are drunk, but that's okay.
And
Not yet.
I'm gonna bet on Schultz.
And
this
you
time
are
too.
drunker.
Exactly. I'm sorry. I've seen what Schultz has been doing. I mean, nothing for nothing. He's got. I mean,
he's
let's be.
he's lost to Creed like 8 times in the
Okay.
last 7 months.
I'm
I
up to my
understand that.
esophagus in Schultz. Everywhere I go, I'm up to my
Yes,
Adam's apple in
But
Schultz.
Schultz has also been learning from Willie, and Willie ain't somebody to mess with because Willie learned from Red. So Uncle Willie probably teaching a thing or two.
That's Uncle Drip to you, but that's neither here nor there.
That's Uncle Willie. I knew Uncle Willie before Uncle Drip. I don't know who the hell Uncle Drip is. I'm too damn old for this shit.
In the final match that I'm aware of, that I saw, today, we've got my good friend Benny Bogus taking on Matt
Benny.
Dewar.
Ooh.
I'm almost as certain that Matt Dewar wipes the canvas with this New Englander that I am that Mulligan is going to beat Schultz.
Babe, you start it.
See, this one I'm kind of torn on. It's like, on one hand, me and Matt Dewar have a bit of a history. Me and him held tag team titles in a company in the past. I like Matt a lot. But I kind of been digging Benny lately, this new violent streak.
I'm not really a fan of Benny Vargas.
It's like, look, I
my
mean,
jaw
don't get me
isn't.
wrong. It's like, I hate everything Boston related. I mean, I guess
I like the
if
accent.
this was a 2 out of, in a straight up 1 fall to a finish match, I give Benny a shot. If it was 2 out of 3 falls, I'd just be like, he's gonna lose twice in 17 or 18 seconds. But it's different. There's something about Benny right now. I think Benny is unlike Schultz. Benny has actually showed something. I mean, he's a former Genesis champion. I mean, he didn't hold the title long, but he did hold it.
To me, this is another one of those matches that is just going to showcase why Matt Dewar, we're so lucky to have him in Shabans. He is as talented as the day is long. And Vargas just isn't ready for the challenge that Dewar is going to bring up. He's going to wipe the floor with him. It's
Matt Dewar needs to pick a different promo photo, because I swear that looks like the photo you'd see on the cover of a let's just say not heterosexual DVD.
Hey. I think that was his promo photo from 2018.
I can't do Matt Dewar with the baby face. He's got to grow the beard back so he doesn't look 12 with muscles.
All right. So are you picking Vargas? I mean, what are we talking about?
I am picking Benny Vargas in an upset.
That is just not right.
Oh, wait, hold on. I'm gonna go Benny on this one. I mean, not that no one likes New England except for Red, but Benny's got that edge that I will just kick you in the teeth while you're down. Matt has got to get that killer instinct back, and I just haven't seen it yet. Stop playing nice with people.
So, like, talking shit about New England. I'm sorry. I'm fairly certain I'm from Philadelphia.
Oh, no one likes Philadelphia.
kind of new-
Philadelphia. Philly
kind
hates
of-
everybody.
Kind of.
Philly hates Santa.
Oh, Philly hates
You
everyone.
lived in Wisconsin.
The only favorable Philadelphia story I've ever heard is when Red regales us with stories of Shakar.
Exactly. Those road trips are infamous.
Red, it's that time. I don't know how you do it tonight, but I'm sure you'll find a way. Would you like to give our
Hold on.
Whoa, PX has got the timeout. What do you got, PX?
Hey, we also did you talk about dysfunction versus the Bro Bros?
I did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I do have the high voltage matches from JFW. It is Omar Saleh versus Donovan Toretto, Logan Steele versus
Nobody
Johnny
cares.
Chaos, and made
Nobody
last
cares.
night, Turtle versus Schultz.
Oh, Schultz is
And
double
Freiberg.
dipping.
In a gauntlet match for the high voltage title.
How many people
Well,
are in
at
this
least-
gauntlet?
At least
3
Travis is,
people going up
listening to
against
me.
Nubby.
So who's the gauntlet? So Schultz is in the gauntlet. Who else?
And Freiberg.
The Sheik
Okay.
and Freiberg. Okay. So he's basically running through puny genitals, which doesn't seem all that
Well,
difficult to me.
I mean, I might just talk to Schultz and take that over just because if I have nothing else to do, then I have no problem smacking a turtle around. And I know Travis would really enjoy it.
All right. Red, before
Travis is just trying to get on my good side because I told him you better start treating my lawyer right, or when I take over, I'm gonna cancel high voltage.
Did you see that? Did you see that? Johnny Chaos's brother was like, hey, can Aaron win so we can fire Travis?
Are you going to fire Travis? Wow.
No, I'm not gonna
We're not-
fire Travis.
All right.
I might make him
wasn't
work.
planning on it.
I mean, he can. Well, once again, I'm gonna be taking over, not you. You don't
Sabotage
get
is
a say
a
in who's getting
democracy.
fired.
You already fired
Yes,
Steve
but
last
Aaron
month.
Xavier is a dictator.
Oh, we're like that now.
We really do feel privileged to have you both on this show. And I wanted to do something special for you since you've come on this show many times and I appreciate it. So I went out and I got you a little bit of a gift that I would like to bring out right now.
Oh boy.
Is it Marche? Is it Marche?
No,
You guys say.
no, it's not Marche. I just wanted to, I'm very, again, I thought about it hard that I wanted to give you a surprise. And here is your surprise. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the Power Hour is a man who has put himself in the running to be the new SCW president. Ladies and gentlemen, the good kid, Neeser. How you doing, Neeser?
Oh,
Oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. I'm sorry, I was chanting to myself, to my
Oh,
silver
I-
leaf elders, that Aaron does not, I repeat, does not win.
Neeser, why are you scared of change? Change will do you good, as Sheryl Crow has said. Change will do you good.
We can't see you, Neeser. Where are you? Are you in the dark? Are you in the forest?
Dark.
Are you
Hold
in the
on.
forest
I
behind
thought my
Aaron Xavier
computer-
right now?
And Steve
You
will
can
quote
hear
me on
but you
Sheryl
can't
Crow.
see me.
I mean, you're on God's time now, Neeser. You asked to come on. You had a message for Aaron Xavier and the Power Hour. We are benevolent people that do this show. We want to give the fans what they want. You wanted to say something to Mr. Xavier and Miss Angel. Here is your forum, young man. Take your shot.
Well, first off, I could be a better president than Aaron or Mr. 1% combined here.
Do tell.
Okay, Neeser, tell me all about it. What would you do? Let's hear your plan. sell me on this one.
Okay, first I would say the Special Olympics people get 5% discount on their tickets. 5%.
Okay. 5%. Okay. So we dropped ticket prices for Special Olympics. Okay.
I love that. That's a great idea.
I'm not against that, but what would you do for the
Love that
company?
too.
Who are you bringing in? Who are we bringing in? What's our sell? Who are we bringing? Who are you booking already?
I'm not booking nobody yet.
You're the president. You're supposed to be booking. What's your plan?
Well, I'm not going to poach anybody yet.
Well,
But
that you're not selling me.
But I will tell you this: I'm already sick to death of hearing Aaron becoming president and James Creed not winning.
Okay.
And I'll give more credit to Aaron. He saved our butts millions of times.
You seen your butt?
Saved our butts, all of our butts, when Powell laid waste to SCW. Even Steve can agree with me.
Aaron, but now that it's the golden child, I'm the Antichrist. God, you're so grateful for everything I did for SCW, which wouldn't exist if it wasn't for me, Neeser. It would be dead and gone. Powell would have buried it, including your golden boy, who's magically got hurt right about the time that things got rough.
Oh,
if it wasn't JPH's fault, my frenemy, James will be at 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, Neeser.
So JPH takes out the golden boy, and what does Aaron Xavier do? He takes out JPH. But yeah, here we are again. Ungrateful, just like the rest of them. Neeser, here it is, Steve. Here's your scoop. When I win Saturday, my very first act is going to be to ban Neeser from the building.
And when I become president, I will ban you, Angel, and Dysfunction from the arena and every other arena that we go to. Thank you very much. Good night.
So Neeser,
banning Neeser from the building, never to be seen from again.
So
okay,
Neeser,
Steve, what's your point on that?
So Neeser, you will have no championship belts because minus the Genesis, we have everything else. Good luck, sweetie, selling that ticket.
Steve, what's your input on this?
I thought you were going to come in and we were going to have a president incumbent debate here. And Neeser, you came in and you didn't really have a plan.
Joe Biden, he came in here like Joe Biden when he missed pudding time.
I'm no Joe Biden.
Okay. You have no plan.
I thought you were going to come here and punch Aaron Xavier in the face verbally. And I feel like Aaron Xavier.
Who is ever going to punch Aaron Xavier in the face
better
verbally?
of you, Neeser. You had your chance. I gave you a week to prepare, and Aaron Xavier has beaten you again.
Steve, who is ever? Steve.
Like everyone else that they put in front of me.
I'll never be beaten.
Punch
Trust
Aaron
me.
Xavier in the face verbally. Aaron has sent people away crying.
You may have every championship, but you'll never get my gold medals off of me. The only person that has ever held my gold medals was Max Holiday. I allowed that because he kicked me in the face with Sue.
Oh,
you know what, Neeser?
Neeser, you deserve those.
Neeser, I respect the hell out of you and your gold medals. It is an awesome achievement. I respect the hell out of the Special Olympics, but that does not change the fact that you are ungrateful for what I did for SCW, and you are ungrateful for everything that I have done for this company, and you are ungrateful for the fact that it's only because I was there that this company still exists. And it's just because of that and that alone that when I win Saturday, it will be the last time you ever see SCW live.
The only way I am leaving SCW is in a pine wooden box with a bullet in my head. Bang.
Wow.
Oh, that's security. Security.
I don't think we allow firearms in the building, but I will
We
check
do
that
not.
rule.
I will talk to security. I mean, I should rephrase it. I will talk to Danielle, who is the true muscle of SCW.
No question, no question. All right.
I'm
This
sorry for
Saturday
failing,
night.
Steve. I just
Go ahead, Neeser.
I love you, Steve, but I refuse to see anyone president.
Well, all I can say is if things don't
You
go,
can refuse all you want, but it's not going to change reality, Mr. Neeser, because here in 5 short days, you are looking at a god at SCW, Almighty himself, all-knowing, all-controlling, and there is
Maybe you
nothing
are God.
you or James Creed can do about it.
I'll even add Terry into that one.
Oh, you
gotcha,
can blame
Neeser.
Terry for getting. You can blame Terry for getting himself
blame-
in this situation because he
I
could
blame
have
Terry
said
for
no
lots of
and saved a
things.
little face. The reason this situation even exists. Thank you very much. Like I said earlier tonight, why be a king when you can be a god?
Thank you, Eminem.
Neeser, you did a great job coming in here. You gave it your best shot, but I've seen it time and again. Sometimes our arms are just too short to box with God. Neeser, say goodbye and log off because we're gonna get that. We're gonna wrap this up. Do you have any final thoughts for Aaron Xavier?
James Creed will beat you like a scalded dog, and I will be there laughing.
Okay. Okay.
Neeser,
Okay.
we thank Ryan Neese for jumping on tonight to go at it one-on-one. He's wanted to go one-on-one verbally against you for a long time, Aaron Xavier, and you did what you always seem to do. All right, Red, give these two people the roses. I guess they deserve it.
Of course they deserve it.
Red loves us. You hate that Red loves us.
I do. I do hate that Red loves you. I do hate that very much.
Yes. And I love them for non-wrestling reasons.
We love you, Red. You know that. And I'm so glad you came back for the Power Hour this year.
I'm glad. Angel and Aaron mean more to me than most. And it's no secret that every time I can publicly say it, when I've had to battle my demons, they have been there. Again, I'll even reiterate the story that really, again, nobody knew till the last time they were on here, that I was willing to take my own life. And they reached out. Those are true friends. When they can stop their own life and give you just a few minutes of hope and encouragement.
Red, you just looked like you needed a hug that night. That's all it was.
But
No idea how
again,
bad it was.
But
It
again,
was just you just
when
like
you-
someone who needed some love.
but when you grasp the concept of a locker room and there's 30 people,
Red, I've known you
20
longer.
and
I've known you
people,
longer than half that locker room.
true,
I've known you since
Red,
I learned my
Chris,
shit from you from
Chris.
CSW.
you know, but when
Red,
people,
Red, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, bud. It's, you know, look, we didn't know what was going on. We could just tell something was off,
That's all.
and that's all. And that's all it was. We could tell something was off with you, and we don't know what's going on. But it's like, you know, when you really care, and this isn't Aaron Xavier. This is Ryan talking to Sean. It's like, and I've told you before, you don't owe me or my wife anything.
No.
You know, it's like we can talk about the wrestling business stuff all you want. You know, that's a different thing. And I told you, you know, many times before, is anything we did that night, it wasn't anything that was, oh, now you owe us. It was that was because of who you are as a person. It's like we genuinely care about you. When we saw our friend not right, we didn't know what it was, but it's, hey, let's reach out and say, hey, we understand something's not right. Just know we're here.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And, there can be 30 people in a locker room and only 2 people see it. And that's fine. But, you don't ever know what someone else is going through. All I ever want some people to think about, though, is when you actually care for somebody, and you notice that they're not themselves, just say something to them, because you don't know. While it's, it wasn't a big thing for me and Chris to come up and give Red. I've given you a hug at literally every show I've ever seen.
I'm saying it.
But that night, that hug meant something different to you. To me, at that moment, it was just, hey, Red's not feeling it. He's not himself. Let's give him a hug.
Yeah.
But you never know. You never know what that little gesture will mean to somebody else when you care about them. And that's all I get from it. It's like, Red, you don't owe me a damn thing.
No.
Our love for you comes from you, Sean the person, not C-Red the performer, nothing. The love you've shown us over the years is why you get that same love in return, and it always will.
Well, I appreciate it from both of you. Again, so let me finish Sean and then I'll hop on Red's back. That the love I have for these two is unwavering. Okay, so let me say 3. Somebody's in the camera. So I have to acknowledge him.
That's the little genius.
That
Right.
is a little genius.
So yes, I don't owe either one of you anything. And we can argue and fight and debate about that all night.
It's happening.
But for me, I do, because you gave me a second chance. When I knew when I left that place there was no chance. Now let me hop on the Red train. Aaron and Angel have been dominant for years. For years. And especially in SCW, they have run Ruckshire with dysfunction as Sabotage. One, it is a crime that Angel is not booked
Thank
on
you.
a show of this magnitude.
Not yet. I mean,
You would think
Every
somebody,
belt's being defended.
right? But no, you would think if we're going after the evil genius, you would put somebody in there to get Angel off her game. And right, well, I'm just saying, if I'm SCW, well, if I get her off her game for a split second, for a few minutes, Aaron is going to be thinking about what happened there. How did this happen? We don't know. Therefore, just a little bit, there's some issues going in the main event.
I'd have called December. December, come on out.
Well,
Happily.
you can call
Happily.
it December, January, February, March. It don't matter. She'll knock their head off. So they didn't think this through. You're sending a boy into a man's world who is now God. Creed.
He's got it,
Here-
Jason. Got
here-
it, Jason. I'm not there yet.
here's a little tidbit that I
Not
don't even know.
adjacent. That's
if
amazing.
if Steve, he's supposed to be the excellent journalist. I don't know if he knows
I am.
or if he even paid attention. Creed
It's
was
gray area.
in just a few months ago, right? And at the very next, lost it. And I know who you wrestled, and he's not in the category of Aaron. So now, Steve, what I really need you to grasp the concept that they've both been telling you this whole time. The pressure is on Creed because you have to carry Terry out. You have to carry the SCW company. You have to carry the fans. You have to carry Hunter Payne. You've got all of this one night. You got one night to get it right. What happens if you don't get it right?
Not the golden child.
What happens? How can you look anybody in the face once the ring announcer, and I pray to God it's you,
At least for one more night.
has to say, and still your
Sabotage
SCW
Championship Wrestling.
That will
Heavyweight
never
champion.
come out of my mouth. You'll have to kill me and have somebody else say it.
Oh well, and I'm
I
sure
will.
they will.
I will.
But
Oh, I
Never.
will.
We'll never
think
say it.
about it. How can he look at anybody? Anybody.
This
And
is
then
what I've been saying, Red, and you get it.
the question
Babe, how many
is
people are gonna cry?
not only cry, but then here's something that nobody's even brought up. We've all talked about what would be the first act.
Steve's
What,
going.
what if the first act is James Creed is fired from SCW?
Ooh. Steve.
Now you've disappointed everybody. You've let everybody down, and you've lost your job.
I will call that rumor right out the gate. I wouldn't fire James Creed
Ah.
because that would be letting him off easy. I want him to have to come to work every show and have to look everybody that he failed in the eye over and over and over again. Because
We
I
still fire
wanted the
Steve.
lesson to risk. I want the lesson to really sink in for Creed. It's like, I wasn't just saying a random wrestling promo, when I was talking, it's like, I'm going to teach you the lesson your father failed to do. And I want it to really sink in that when you bite off more than you can chew, there are real life consequences. So firing him would be easy. Making him come in and have to look every one of those people in the eye that he failed over and over and over again would be a far worse punishment.
Well, I believe a change is coming. And
Plus, I think Creed could probably sell extra hot dogs. So,
and he might could. I think Saturday, just in the professional wrestling world, changes are coming, but none more important than what will transpire in Shabans.
Greatness.
Steve, you've been a pain in their ass.
I don't necessarily believe that to be true.
Even tonight, you know we've got two guests, but you send one link.
It's
You
amateur
do-
hour,
We live in
right?
the same house, for Christ's sake.
But you do that to nobody else. You do that to nobody.
Sometimes sometimes people remember God but forget about the apostles.
Well, all I'm gonna say, and I'll leave it alone at this. Steve, this goes for you too, but also to James Creed. Remember the old saying: your arms are too short to box with God.
This Saturday night in Shabance, the franchise, the real sharpshooter, James Creed, takes on the evil genius, aka the Lord, Aaron Xavier, in a match not just for a heavyweight title, but for presidential naming interests. It doesn't get
Am I
any
wrestling
bigger.
James Creed or Shane Douglas? I heard you say
Why is he the
franchise.
franchise? Why is he the franchise?
Because he
I
has
don't get
been
that.
the franchise. He has been the
What does that
franchise
mean?
player
Really?
of SCW for many years.
Okay. Well, just because they've wanted him to be the franchise doesn't make it so.
When the ring announcer calls you the franchise, you're the franchise.
It means
That
that
means you're a winner.
it means that he's sucking up to the boss and wanting to put on, hey, I'll get your golden child over.
I mean,
So-
when I say Marche Rocket's half man, half amazing, and he's a 6-tool talent in a 5-tool world, people just accept it as fact. Just like they
But-
accept
But
Creed
but
as
Hey,
Steve,
I'm not
Steve,
gonna. I am not gonna argue with you at all. Marche is definitely a tool, but besides the point, James Creed is not the franchise.
Not
I
the
mean,
franchise. No.
so why is he the franchise, Steve? I was
Thank
there
you.
since the inception, before it was called Southland. I was there.
Ooh, I
since
was there
day
too.
one.
Me
So
too.
doesn't that make me more of a franchise?
I used to manage Hunter Payne. I think I would be the franchise.
These are all valid points, but it changes nothing.
Oh, just because
Moral
you want
of
to say
why-
something.
This is what's wrong with today's crop of talent. Just because we come in and we get a few cheers, all of a sudden we're the franchise. We haven't accomplished a damn thing.
I mean,
but we're the
Steve.
franchise.
I mean, Steve, if Aaron and I go to CSW, are we the franchise?
I don't know. I guess we
Hey,
would find out.
Hey, are we?
I'm gonna show up at Frontline and just declare myself the franchise of Frontline.
I don't think that would
apparently that's all you
that
gotta
would
do.
not work out very well for you.
Apparently,
True.
that's all you got to do is show up and say. And as long as Steve says it, it makes it true.
Well, I'm not the ring announcer at Frontline. That's Crystal's job. If Crystal calls you the franchise, then hey, take her word for it.
It's whatever we say we are.
All right. This Saturday night, it's going to be a huge night in Shabance. Arctic Takeover Southland Championship Wrestling starts off 2024 with the biggest show with the most implications since WrestleTopia. So come on out to Shabance. Aaron, Xavier, and Angel, we really appreciate your time tonight. You have stayed the full 2 hours. Not many of our guests stay the full 2 hours. So we appreciate you, and we will look forward to seeing you in Shabance on Saturday. And if you do win, we would like to have
Not
you
if.
back on.
Not if. Not if.
When you win, we will look forward to having you back on to talk about your plans for the new
I'm toppling.
SCW.
Oh, we're toppling Marche's record.
Oh, when I win, I will come back on the show, and I will give you the scoop of being the first person to hear the New Testament.
Can't
So we're
wait.
coming back. So wait, we're coming on next Tuesday?
No, next Tuesday, I have to deal with the general manager of Rocket Pro Wrestling.
Nobody
Who?
cares.
The general
Damien
one?
Saint. Who is
Which one?
Which one?
the smaller one.
Oh, you mean the one who doesn't matter?
The one that's going to run a gauntlet Saturday night.
Oh, okay.
Turtle?
Turtle's the new general manager of Rocket Pro.
Donatello or whatever his name is. Nubby Jones. We're gonna
Wait,
go
hold
with
on.
Nubby Jones.
Hold on. Nubby's running Rocket Pro, then I got a shot getting in there because I'll just smack the shit out of him to get a shot.
That's the look of a man who smelled his own fart.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you, Aaron, Xavier, and Angel. We're going to let you go ahead and log off and continue and enjoy your night. We have a few things to wrap up here. But thank you guys so much for taking time out tonight, and we'll see you in Shabance on Saturday.
Thank you, guys. Love you, Steve. Love you,
Love
Red.
you, Red.
Goodbye,
Love
God.
you.
Goodbye, Goddess.
Steve.
I'm not going to be
Bye.
fired.
Oh,
Yes,
you
will.
are. Yes, you are. My first one.
Oh,
Can't wait.
oh, Lord. All right. That, of course, was the evil genius, Aaron Xavier, Southlands champion, and the women's champion, Angel. And Red, they had some pretty strong statements. So we will see what happens. We'll talk about that next week. Next week, the man right there, RPW's new general manager, co-general manager, Turtle, will be joining us next week to talk about the upcoming show. And I'm sure he'll have some opinions about SCW show tonight as well, or Saturday night as well. But we got to talk a little bit about Chicago style wrestling and some of the things that went down in Franklin Park.
Yeah, I read some of them, but come on.
It was a pretty big night. Let's start off with you being wrong.
About what?
And I would never have expected it, nor would I chose not to predict because I couldn't choose. But you were very clear in your prediction, and you were dead wrong.
About what?
Axel Rico outright beat Marche Rocket in one of the great matches that happened that night. It was amazing. They put on a spectacle that you would expect from two top performers. But in the end, Axel Rico got the job done.
Okay, but you acting like Marche Rocket ain't still Marche Rocket.
Oh, no, I mean, it totally is. I just wanted to say you were wrong. I mean, you were right. The match was spectacular, and Marche was at another level, but Axel Rico dug down deep and found something inside himself, and he won his bucket list match. It was really impressive.
Okay, but you're acting like this drops Marche.
Oh, no, 100% not. That is not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying, I just am rubbing your nose in the fact that you predicted it correctly.
You're trying to rub my nose in it like you're trying to rub my nose in having won this year's fantasy league.
What about me rubbing your nose in this there? How about that? I know you got more than I do, but at least I got one.
Yeah, but I won
Thanks,
last
Steve
year.
Mack.
But I won last year.
You did, but you didn't win this year, and you don't have no ring. Don't have no ring.
Do I need to go upstairs and get my rings?
Lieutenant Dan ain't got no ring. Anyway, let's move on.
You're not going to be happy till I post my rings.
When Angel was talking about who they could bring in to face her, thank you, PX. Two people that would come up in any conversation. They mentioned Maggie Lee. They mentioned Maggie Lee. Maggie Lee fought Sky Blue, and that is what opened the show. So, as I said, what happened last week, we didn't know what Sky we were getting, and the Sky we got was the Sky you see on TV. She was aggressive. She was determined, and she was wrestling very fast. But Maggie Lee went toe to toe with her. So when and if SCW goes from Southland to Sabotage, I would like to see either of these ladies head to Shabance to take on Angel because I'd like to see it. A lot of people thought Maggie Lee might have been in over her head. I'm here to tell you Maggie Lee was not in over her head. She almost beat Sky Blue on 4 separate occasions. But in the end, Sky Blue did Sky Blue shit and won the match.
And who did I say would win that match?
You did say Sky would win. I was not so sure that Maggie wouldn't find a way. but in the end, Sky Blue did what she does, and she got booed at times by a very aggressive, sold out, wall to wall, rambunctious crowd. But it was a hell of a way to start a show. I'll tell you that. That was a big match. Another occurrence that happened on Friday night, the Hate Keepers took on Joey Avalon and Sierra for the CSW tag team titles. And my favorite tag team, Bad Meets Evil, won their match, as I thought they would. It was what happened afterwards that has a lot of people talking.
I know we talked about it first.
GPA and Laney Luck jumped the guardrails, ran into the ring, and decimated Avalon and Sierra, and made a challenge for February 9th at Logan Square at Freelance Wrestling's next show. So it will be GPA and Laney Luck versus Avalon and Sierra. It's not a titles match. It is a match for pride. Who's the better couple? I'm not exactly sure what the storyline is, but we haven't seen Laney Luck in a CSW ring in 4 to 5 years. And it's been equally as long, if not longer, for GPA. They are, however, fixtures in Freelance, and they have had quite the ride, and they are quite dominant. And they made waste to Avalon and Sierra. But now Avalon and Sierra are pissed. So I don't know what this means for the future. You know, it's not really got anything to do with Freelance. It's not really got anything to do with Chicago style wrestling. It's two couples that are fighting for superiority. And the pedigree is equal on both sides, in my opinion. I mean, Laney Luck and GPA are tremendously talented. You know their story, and nobody knows better than me how good Avalon and Sierra are. So on February 9th, I'm going to Logan Square. I bought my ticket. I'm going to sit in that crowd, and I'm going to watch that match. And I'm sure it will be entertaining. It's not got anything to do with the companies. It's got everything to do with the performers. So if you're a fan of mixed tag team wrestling, this is something you have to see at Logan Square on February 9th. I know I'll be there. People have thrown around terms like war and, you know, side versus side. I don't necessarily think that it has anything to do with that at this time. And there's a good, well done, Pac-Man. There's a good shot of Laney and GPA. And, you know, I certainly have a special place in my past for Laney Luck, as I'm missing a tooth here because she knocked it out of my head when I was managing Mitch Blake at CSW once upon a time. So I certainly have rooting interest in this match, and I take all day Avalon and Sierra. And that was one huge thing. That moment in time when GPA grabbed that microphone and went on that tirade, that is something that will live in the infamy of wrestling for a long time. Nobody saw that coming. And the crowds started an F Freelance chant that is probably still going on somewhere in the ether in Franklin Park. So that was a huge moment in time. But what might be a bigger moment than that is how the show ended. After Conan Lycan, in a match for the ages, narrowly defeated our special guest star, Leo Rush, the man of the hour, the Hate Keepers came out to celebrate. But something happened. The paradigm shifted. And suddenly, Conan Lycan found himself on the outside looking in as a new hand has taken control. It's sitting at the throne of the Hate Keepers. And it is none other than Jake Parnell, aka the Workhorse, or the Warhorse. I've never seen the Warhorse in this fashion. I'm used to the very flamboyant character that he is, that has made him a wrestling darling all over the Midwest and beyond. But this is the nihilist. This is a very different Jake. and he has stepped in to take over the Hate Keepers, and they beat down Conan Lycan. There's a good shot of the Nihilist, the new warhorse. And it was kind of scary. You could actually feel the temperature in the room shift as Lycan was beaten mercilessly by this new brand of Hate Keepers. And Marston and Boucher and Hollister were all in on the beatdown, but you could see conflict in the eyes of Uncle T. So although the Hate Keeper reinforcement with the Nihilist at the helm is made them bigger than ever and more dangerous than ever, don't know the fate of Tupu. So there's a lot that was answered at season premiere, but even more questions come out of it. So how do you feel about all that new information? You didn't get a chance to see it. It hasn't gotten up on IWTV just yet. It should be up there hopefully next week.
Well, I'm not shocked. I already told you. Shenanigans.
You're right.
You cannot be shocked that the Hate Keepers, you already saw that there was a disparate, separation. They didn't want the champ. They wanted to control him, and that couldn't happen. He wanted to do things his way. He wanted to go on his run and show his dominance without shenanigans. And I respect him for that. But you have to understand, when you're in a group, sometimes there's chaos, there's anarchy, and there's mutiny. So for them to bring in the warhorse, my fault.
I know we've been fighting
Oh,
the warhorses too long. It's easy to say.
You bring in the warhorse. I'm not shocked. Shenanigans. It's just something. I'm not gonna say I didn't think what happened. As far as, I'm not shocked that they pulled this move. I'm shocked by who they brought in to lead them, but I'm not shocked. So now the question that CSW has to ask themselves, do things go back to the way they were? See, you're shaking your head.
I don't see how they can.
No, but think about it. For over, I want to say almost a year and a half, Steve, they were painting your ass.
They were.
Yeah, you're not the GM anymore.
I'm not even the ring announcer anymore, because in a situation that occurred, TJ Steele took a hammer to Moondog Greg Murray's hand, casino style, but the reward for getting his hand shattered into a million pieces is he's been reinstated on the CSW roster, as has our original commentator, Wade Hunt. So I am back to commentary exclusively in February. Thank God.
Yeah, but again, the question now remains. I don't see TJ Steele stepping in. I don't see him telling them, the Hate Keepers, they can't do this, they can't do that. So what happens now?
I wish I knew, Red. I never saw this coming. This might be the CSW free agent signing of all time. This man is a bona fide superstar. This man transcends this business. He has been at the highest levels, and now he is CSW strong for the next calendar year. Every month in Franklin Park, Jake Parnell will enter that building with an agenda. What is his agenda? Nobody knows. Why are the hate keepers involved in his agenda? Nobody knows. He said, I'll never forget. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this. This is a wild card that I never expected in a million years. And what this means to the CSW locker room, no one can even fathom it. It's shocking.
Well, I suggest Dante should do like your counterpart. Shouldn't even be here today.
Wasn't even supposed to be here today. That goes that will wrap this package. So we will wrap it up here. Thanks to Aaron, Xavier, and Angel for stopping in tonight and giving us the lowdown on what to expect this Saturday in Shabance at SCW Arctic Takeover. PX, are you still with us?
I am, yeah.
What are your final thoughts before we wrap up?
So, you mind if I make a quick plug?
Make
Just
a
Mel, I
couple of quick plugs.
Sure. So, this weekend we will be releasing the Lovely Intoxicated podcast. We are doing a preview of Cupid's Carnage. We'll talk a little bit about the match that I am managing, as well as having special guest hosts, the Amazing Turtle and Damian Saint, to have a discussion about what their plans are as co-general managers working together and whether or not they can coexist on our show. I guess you're going to have to find out.
That is going to be some must-see podcast TV. It's going to be kind of fun next Tuesday night on the Power Hour as we get set for Cupid's Carnage. Turtle will be our guest on this show as well. So it's kind of going to be like a JFW offshoot in a way. And we'll look forward to hearing what he has to say about his appearance on the LIM podcast and, what he has in store for Damian Saint as we go forward into February at Joliet. It should be pretty cool.
That I can't wait to see.
It's going to be fun. We'll have a good time too, and that's very important. Are
That'll
we
be
going
a
to see
lot
you?
of
Are we
fun.
going to see you down south this Saturday night there, Pat? Or are you taking
This Saturday I'll be at a party, so I won't be there, unfortunately.
We'll miss you, buddy. It's going to be a hell of a show.
It sounded like it. I'm bummed to miss it, especially want to see what's going on with Creed and Xavier. I've been following that a little bit.
Yeah, it's getting out of hand, and one way or another, it ends Saturday night. Next week, before I go, also I wanted to mention in February, CSW is welcoming a very special guest. Gringo Loco is going to be in Franklin Park on February 16th at Hearts and Fire. So that'll be a pretty cool thing. Next week on this show is Turtle. We look forward to that. Come out and see us in Shabance this Saturday night if you have the time for the urban sensation, the fraternity brother, the one and only C-Red. On behalf of Rion Skills, who wasn't with us tonight, and Cactus Rack, who was not here, and of course for PX, I'm Steve. Thanks for watching the Power Hour, and we will see you next Tuesday night. Be safe and be nice to each other. Good night.